Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to do a CRUD sample using VV.net. So first thing to do is we need to select the tools for our design. So I'm going to select the buttons for our insert and rename it. Then followed by the text box, tools, and label. And we need to rename our label as a name. For example, name. So let's go to our statement. So we need to import MySQL data to MySQL data that MySQL client. So this import is the library needed to connect MySQL to our projects. So we need to declare a variable dim insert command as a new MySQL command. MySQL command. So MySQL command represent as SQL statement to execute against MySQL database. So since we already have our insert button, so we need to type an insert into to call our database table. So our database table is fruits. So fruit, as you can see, this is our database table, fruit. So as what I have putted, and we also need to call a sample fruits for our attribute, which is no, and we also need to call a variable in our table, which is name fruits. So as you can see, this is our variables, fruits. Values. And we need to add a new variables. So at FRT is our variables of our text box 1. That connections. Since we don't have a connection, so let's put a dim connection. Put a connection as a new MySQL MySQL connection. We can connect to our database. Server is equals to localhost. So username is equals to root. Password is none. Is equals to none. And our database. Which we named it Sarah. So let's go to our database. So as you can see, our database name is Sarah. That's what I have inputted in our statement. So this MySQL connection is our variable needed for our MySQL connection. So since we already have a connection in our database, let's proceed. So insert command that parameter. So db type varchar. So we have to try and catch to execute the data. So connection.open, execute in non-query. So non-query is used for executing queries that does not returns any data. Message box to show data is inserted. Data not inserted. So we have two errors because we are another error may show that box dot. Okay, so double quote. So let's try if this is working. Data not inserted because there's something wrong within our statement. So the error is in this case because we are using a single quote which is not applicable. Because as we can see in our database, insert table is using this sign. So insert use table is using this sign which is not a single quote. So let's change it into that sign and try if it is working. So let's insert it a fruit apple. So data is now inserted. So let's go in our database. So the apple now is inserted. Let's move. So we already have an insert table or insert button. So let's move into another button which is a retrieve toolbox to select another button for our retrieve. And rename it. So let's rename it as our retrieve. We already have a buttons for our retrieve. So let's proceed in our statements. So dim search that command. So dim search underscore command is our another variable. So dim search command. Search command is our another variables for our retrieve buttons as new MySQL command. So by retrieving our data into our database, so let's type select all from our database table name, which is a fruit, where ID connection. So dim adapter is just also variables. So adapter new into the MySQL database adapter. So database adapter is an intermediate between the dataset and the data source. Command so dim table as a new data table. Since ID is since we don't have table for ID, so let's proceed to our designs and create a new text box for ID and a new label. So we need to rename our label as our ID. So we already have an ID and a text box. Let's proceed to our statement. So we now have a text box 2. So since we already have an ID and a text box or a text box 2, so let's go back to our statements. So here we need to add and type a search command that parameters that add. So that add to call our text box 2. That in 64. That in 64. So let's try and catch that count to 0. Then sige, text box 2 that text is equals to table 0 and 0 1. Else text box 2 text box to the text gusto ko message box so message box that show else if so okay, let's check if it is working. So let's see what's the number in our ID in our database. ID is 9. So let's input in 9 and the buttons. The result is in our ID, which is it should be in the name. So let's go back in our statement because there's an error. Okay, so this should be text box 1. This should be text box 1 and also this. So let's try again. ID is 9. Button retrieve. We already have a retrieve button. So let's proceed in our update. So let's proceed in our update. So let's go back to our design. Another button for our update. Let's rename it as update. So let's have another variables, which is update command as a new MySQL command. MySQL. Run type update set fruits where ID is equals to at ID. Our database type that int 64 that value is equals to text box text box to change it. So this is not a integer, so let's change it by bar chart. So in 64, because ID is an integer, it is our fruit, which is we enter or we input it as an variable. So let's have a try and catch. So let's just copy the try and catch in our insert data because it's just the same. And we change it into an update command. So data is updated. So data is updated and data is not updated. So this also have an error because we don't have a and try. Okay, so this is it. So let's try. So ID 9. So okay, before we will going to update, let's go to our database. So we have a ID 9 and a fruits apple. So we're going to update in ID 9 into an orange. So we are going to update ID 9 into an orange. So update. Data is updated. Refresh it. So it is working. It's already an orange, so not apple. So our update is now working. So let's proceed into a delete. And rename it as delete. And let's go to our statements. Go and we input a from delete from database table name where ID where connection parameters that add let's go to a try and catch. So connection connection.open to open our connection in our database connection. So delete command. So delete command that execute show a that show a message which is data delete so let's go to our database table and we're going to delete. So let's try to delete an ID9 which has a name orange. So ID9, we only just have to input an ID because in our statement, delete from fruits where is only the ID. We only have to input an ID for the delete. So let's try it. Data is not deleted, so there's another error. Okay. So yes, I have an error because I inputted text box 2 instead of I inputted text box 1 instead of text box 2 because text box 2 is our ID and the name or the fruit is our text box 1. So let's try it again. An ID 9. Data also is not deleted. So there's another error because mm, ah we are using a single coach which is not applicable. So let's try it again. An ID9 delete button. So this is it. So data is deleted. And let's go back to our database. And let's see if it is deleted. Refresh it. So no ID and no fruits items. So our we already created a CRUD in VV.NET. So we have an insert, retrieve, update, and delete. So it stands for create, read, update, and delete. So that's what we call a CRUD. So thank you for watching.